DIABY and the tea for never for you say. Now I believe say Enran Ghana for Inya in Kunindi against Mali. That was the thing I know be a hope for. So even after the match, we saw Keto Krikwan and Niaja all jubilating with the FA officials. Ewo or Hinijan and Asa Accra Sports Stadium and now all jubilating over the possibility say definitely with the last two matches Saka Ghana in the World Cup qualifying games, so definitely Ghana beat me qualify at their core into the World Cup. But before the football match, I sat here and said a lot of things. So we pay one particular coach who need the ins and outs of the Ghana Black Stars, the Malian coach, because of say a human better at the time, Coach Chris Hilton, AJ Jumano at the core, one of the coaches in Ghana for Musen Kobitima take over the Ghana Black Stars was the Malian coach. And in Komono Mudiko anymore, Mudi Komoniko anymore to the extent say almost 50%, 60% of the Ghana Black Stars problems and how or no as a coach will be to resolve those problems. I'm making sure so be to formulate a good identity to coach the Ghana Black Stars The Malian coach in those problems and will identify those problems and say, so as a Black Stars coach, he can easily do it. And yesterday, clearly, from the first minute to the 90th minute, the game that we saw, Ghana playing against the Malian side we saw a Malian gamer now dominating, especially in the second half of that particular game. And we saw all of the things and coach, at the Malian national team. But before the ball match, the last 12 matches between Mali and Ghana, we saw 4 wins for Mali, 6 wins for the Ghana Black Stars, 2 draws and 80 PM, 6 defeats for Mali, and a 4 defeats for Ghana Black Stars. But when you are talking to the home side of Ghana Black Stars, meeting against the Malian side, now the last 4 games, and it has been very difficult for the Malian national team to beat over the Ghana Black Stars. So then, very, very difficult. Say going on into the game, say Mali beat me a win over Ghana. Not a very, very difficult. But Ghana Black Stars can easily win against the Malian national team. But DIABY, so we'll check the game lineup. And the Coach Otto, the FR, so share a tactical things the call into the game. It was very, very, very good for Ghana Black Stars. The entire maker said he wanted to play a defensive shape of Ghana. Defensive shape now opening and say whenever you beat a lot of transition, he makes sure say in the solid midfield of Ghana Black Stars he will have a lot of men in the midfield that they can easily partner the attackers. No, make me release the ball on quick in timer or make me I share a lot of goals at the Ghana Black Stars. But the Khmer say so we had the attacking side of Ghana Black Stars in Ra. They were not clinical enough. The likes of Antoine Semenyo, Jordan Pierre Ayew, and Mohamed Kudus Mujini Modema side of Ghana Black Stars they were not clinical enough to make useful opportunities of some of the balls that into the net for Ghana. They weren't able to do that. But so we'll check the formation Coach Otto Eddie Coleman. It was the 3-4-3 tactical system. The coach was a 10 match beyond Coach Otto, the kind of tactical formation they are now third area. We've seen Coach Otto most of the games about them Ghana Black Stars He has been able to play the 3-5-2 system, about the 4-4-2 compact system, and then he has been able to play the 4-3-3 tactical system. But looking at the Malian national team, the kind of ball a typical 4-2-3-1 tactical system. Meaning says a wood cheer against them he can easily play the fluid football in the exceptional midfield of Malian national team. But so we'll check Ghana Black Stars. The 3-4-3 system but you know or no ball Jiku Ebo as a main sweeper in the defensive shape of Ghana Black Stars and Mohamed Salisu and so age at the Ghana Black Stars. In terms of the midfield, 4 solid midfielders are all making sure say 2 will become a pivotal role for Ghana Black Stars and other 2 wingers will become an inverted midfielders and they will support Thomas Partey and Kwesi in that particular tactical midfield. So we'll check Gideon Mensah in most of the games about them at the side of Ghana Black Stars he has been able to be used as a left full back positioner for Black Stars. Caleb Range the last game of boy he was being used in that particular midfield and also as a defender, not Obo Echiho Edeman the side of Ghana Black Star, but Enra, he was being used as an inverted right full back positioner and all partner Kwesi in the right midfield of Ghana Black Star. Thomas Partey was that kind of traditional box to box midfielder when it comes to say Obi dictated the tempo of the game. when it comes to say Obi find the rhythm patterns are Obi team channel a lot of passes from that particular midfield into the attacking third. We saw Thomas Partey, he was doing that kind of balls, no release balls, no into the attacking third. So Black Stars 18 in offensive manner. We saw certain was Gideon Mensah or Nobo as a left inverted midfielder, as sometimes Obebo as an offensive, will try as much as possible to create a lot of overload in the left hand side of Ghana Black Stars. But then you want to do I shall say the right hand side now a Honda Calibrinchi, I shall say the transition. Because we have a certain Mohamed Kudusa, when it comes the right wing forward, I want to no original airborne ball at the other side of Ghana Black Stars. And Jordan Ayew was being used as a false number 9, making sure say in the fox of the penalty yard box, he can easily become that kind of striker, which me a channel a lot of goals into the back of that particular net. But Enra, we didn't see that kind of expectation now. Near head coach Otuado, the kind of 3-4-3 tactical system are not all about Edema Ghana Black Stars, and most of the things are not all here. One of the key things that DIABY who into the game, they say, the moment I want to Kwesisibo Ebo as a deep line playmaker in the midfield now, then we release Thomas Partey to become a traditional number 8 and as well as a number 10 in the attacking third of Ghana Black Stars. It's now on to me and allow Jordan Ayew to come into the ball and making sure so bit may involve himself in the play. Because we know a typical Jordan Ayew is all born as a false number 9. He loves to dictate the tempo and sometimes he loves to involve himself in the play. Sinebeya, the attackers know your movement. He can hold onto the ball and make sure so bit may release the ball on time. But Nipa Addo one and who will drop it back deep. Ebeka Thomas Partey as a 2 double number 10s. In offensive movement of Ghana Black Stars was a certain Thomas Partey and Mohamed Kudus. Tembia Kudus drop it back deep. Switch it from the right wing side or drop it back deep into the typical number 10 role, making sure say Kwesisibo the underlying movement, neutralizing play, destructive organ. In a match for Ghana Black Stars, the only person who has served as a replacement tool, Ediama Kwesibono, will become a certain Thomas Partey. But Obe free Jordan Ayew, not making sure say Mohamed Kudus will come in, get the ball, hold up onto the ball, and making sure say Obe pinning most of the Malian defenders now onto their backyard. But Enra say Mali coach share the transition as here. Then money who say. But I saw about the 4-2-3-1 tactical system. But Abrante Evans said Dieng was that kind of player. In a central midfield, he was able to control Thomas Partey and Kwesisibo. Because we are seeing Malian national team anytime in most of the matches I'm at home, said Dieng and Kamara who do onto the ball, they make sure say at any moment in time, Dumbia be drop it in deep because Dumbia typically or a typical number 10 or a traditional number 8. So drop it in ever deeper. Both 3 solid midfielders within their midfield. But Ghana Black Stars, it was just 2 pivotal midfielders within their midfield in the likes of Kwesisibo and Thomas Partey. So it was very difficult for Thomas Partey and Kwesisibo to create a lot of overload centrally in the midfield of the Malian national team. And most of the times, who say Malifon dominating in terms of numbers in the central midfield of that particular match. And Ubi or Hebo who say, Malifon ball now. Instead of 2 holding midfielders, no, omunye 2, but omunye 3. So omu kwe ni mwa, omu Dukore or no elbow in the right wing forward, and omu Koulibaly or no more in the left wing forward, and Sine Yakunso or no more as a traditional number 9 for the Malian national team. And the other thing in say, Obidi said Dukore will become another player in terms of midfield solidarity. He will come in just to support Kamara and Dieng Ewunfinfiho. And the Malifoni exceptional ahead of Thomas Partey and Kwesisibo. The share first goal in the Coach Otuado needed to make sure that coming into the second half, he would defend. And defend, they say, Obe changing the tactical system on the chassis, from the 3-4-3 system to a typical 4-5-1 tactical flexibility in that particular midfield. And the man Ghana for who said, right now as we speak, so we'll check Coach Otuado. All about the 4-5-1, all defend the Ediama, the Malian national team with the goal. And also Ghana Black Stars. It will continue a pressure, share some of the goals they can want. And my man for Benisha, I say, who said, Coach Otuado, in terms of tactics, in terms of combat, we're tweaking most of these individual brilliant players within our national team now. The money born ever form. One of the key things who you say, oh yeah, a lot of changes. Joseph Pencil, Emu Abem. Kamadin Suleiman and movement in Williams movement no at that particular material moment in time. Not in 51 ewu. And we who say Mali phone air controlling in field to the extent say Nipo team holding up the ball was Mohamed Kudus. And so to me neutralizing into the midfield. Kudus the Edney Frame. That's Antoine Semenyo man-to-man marking. Our Mali national team defense no Antoine Semenyo the Frame. It's very difficult for the side of Ghana Black Stars to press when it comes to offensive things. So now I was saying, Coach Otto, a lot of changes. You could use the frame and making sure Jordan and you a frame and Antoine Semenyo a bit a frame at Diaba. That's what the technical team, or new tactical identity are, or more every the 3-4-3 system. And they are called the 4-5-1 system. No, so many back. So Joseph Pencil will come into the wings, Kamadin Suleiman and Suleiman into the wings, and then you get Inaki Williams or no best standing as a force into the attacking third of Ghana Black Stars. And sometimes Ebayano, Bumu Thomas Partey getting into the ball. It has obeyed me a lot of overload to the right hand side of the attack and to the left hand side of the attack. That was the time when was the Ghana Blazer coach Otto. The new tactical system when he went into the game, they were able to make sure say in the wings overload, Joseph Pencil and they will be to say Kamadin Suleiman and will be clinical enough in attacking front. But most of the balls they had 2 clear chances at that particular material moment in time. Now Inaki Williams, there were a lot of space in the left hand side of the attacker. Saka 2 balls, Nemumba Kope ko Inaki Williams so at that material moment. Bianca Inaki would have made it into 2 goals to 0 against the Malian national team. But apart from that, game I'm here against Coach Utua. I'm here for Coach Utua. Tactically, they were formed. In terms of individual brilliance in the team and Ghana Black Stars, having that particular win over the Malian national team. But I will check individual players that Black Stars cry. That's I will check individual players the side of Malian national team cry. There is no way I bet my catch him say the Mali national team were quality players even ahead of Ghana Black Stars. But then Stanford to play the Mali national team as a basic unit. So now you can see the free-flowing system of football. They control majority of the half spaces that we had within the Ghana Black Stars. Half spaces in here. The left hand side, the right hand side, Bibia Gideon Mensah Ebono, he wasn't available in offensive traits for Ghana Black Star. Calibri Renchi was making sure offensively he was adding a lot of numerical superiority into the right hand side of our attack. But say oh defend here. Ibenya Kosisi Bono as an auxiliary right full backer. So once a Calibri Renchi a lot of things they are going man Kosisi Bobeko into the right hand side. Neja Thomas Partey Kwan e won fin fi ho. Definitely the Malian national team were doing things over possible. Say the coach playing the free-flowing football, making sure about a possession-based football, total dominant system of football. No, intimi amwa amomo anshe. But in all, possession and everything. No, omo Ghana from. We were lucky enough to get that particular goal against the Malian national team.
Fantastic.